Hey everyone, Harmon from Odd Horizons here, and for today's video we have a Dragon Age Veilguard review. Now, this is the latest installment of the Dragon Age franchise, with the last one coming out in 2014, with that being Dragon Age Inquisition. If you're a fan of the series, then you know these last 10 years have been a pain. And man, am I glad that we finally get a new game. So for this video, I just kind of want to highlight the intro, not to get too spoiler heavy into it. That way everyone can play it at their own pace, but still have a little review on if they should get the game or not. Now the first thing we're going to have coming up is this cool title screen, but we're going to get right into the customization of it. So you have the elves, which are, it's a fantasy game. You gotta have your elves. Elves are like a staple in the fantasy world. You have the Qunari, the human, and the dwarves. But for this one, I decided to go with the human, and not to go too long into the customization, I just kind of cycled a preset on what I like. But as true to any BioWare game, there's a ton of customization that you can do with all of your characters. You can really customize whatever you want, change your face shape, body shape, eye color. There's different layers to the eye color that you can do. There's just so much that you can do in this game that it's quite mind-boggling. And next we'll get into the classes, which you have your warrior, your mage, and your rogue. Which for this game I decided to pick with the rogue, but for the rogue subclasses you have the duelist, the saboteur, and the veil ranger. For the warrior, we have the reaper, the slayer, and the champion. Which champion's been brought over from Inquisition. I do remember that one. And then the mage, you have the dream caller, the evoker, and the spellblade. Which I bet the spellblade's kind of like the knight enchanter. Which the knight enchanter on Inquisition got me through the insanity run. So I went with a rogue just because I like the rogue playstyle more. There are different factions that you get to choose from. So you have the Grey Wardens, which are kind of like your well-known. Everyone knows them. They're the ones that fight the Blight and stuff. This is something we don't really have. Didn't really have in the previous game. You didn't really get to pick your backstory. But we have the Veil Jumpers. We have the Shadow Dragons, which the one I picked. The Lords of Fortune. The Morn Watch. The Antivan Crows, which I decided to go with the Shadow Dragon just because rogue kind of made sense, I thought. But the playstyle, you have your story, you have all your stuff, so I just decided to stick with kind of like a easier difficulty just so I can enjoy the game. I'll eventually want to play it on Insanity, but as we can already see from this intro, the graphics already look way better. Nice little intro to set up you starting off in the Teventer capital, Amintharis, looking for Fenharal. And I mean, look at this. Look at it. It looks smooth. It looks clean. Everything about it just picks up from Inquisition. Now, I feel like, from what I've seen, this game feels a little bit more linear, not so much open world. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm okay with it. I enjoy it. I think this is a great game and great visuals. Movement feels really smooth. I enjoy that. And as we're going to see here soon, the combat feels really good. As we see, we got the flame demons. Those guys are back. Can't have a Dragon Age game without having the demons in it. And of course, the Pride Demon. They look great from their Inquisition counterparts. Really glad that they kind of detail them a little bit more. Those look good. And here we are. Here we are again with some combat. We have some demons here that think that they're going to be able to take us down. And one thing I noticed right off the bat that I like about the rogue compared to the other games is that for the other games you had to pick between if you wanted a bow or dual wield daggers or short swords. For this game, you can use both. and it offers kind of like a very, you can combo with them really nicely, and I really enjoy that because I feel like if I want to stay back and snipe, I can. If I want to rush them with daggers, I can. One thing though that I did notice with the bows, you can aim them. So you, in Inquisition, it's just kind of you shoot at the enemy and occasionally you'll get a crit hit. But for this, you can kind of fast fire, which is gonna be less accurate but quicker shots, or you can actually take your time and line up a headshot. And with a dodging mechanic, you can really get some crazy combos and it just looks smooth overall. It hasn't really been too clunky. For a BioWare game, I enjoy the ease and this. Oh, and this part. This is what I like about this. This is kind of taking a page out of Mass Effect where you hold your R1 or RB button. You can select your powers from your companions, and it stops time, so you can look, assess the battlefield, and use your abilities to help give you an edge. That's what I enjoyed the most about this. Because the tactical camera in Inquisition, it was okay. It was okay. I didn't really like the top-down view, but this, I really feel like it really gave a new light to this game. Varric, I love Varric from Inquisition. I love his sarcasm and his character. Great. The companions are all great. Of the ones I've met so far, I'm hoping that there are a lot more. I get to meet a lot of people from Inquisition. And yeah, I hope to meet new characters and really set apart from each other and really have their own uniqueness to them. I do feel like the boss fights are going to be pretty epic with being able to dodge, parry, block, and essentially do a lot more with the movement compared to Inquisition. So I have a feeling that the bosses are more than likely going to be harder and hit a lot harder. But you will also be able to negate a lot of that damage or get out of that damage. And so this kind of is wrapping it up for this small review of Dragon Age Veilguard. I hope this is at least a little bit influenced your decision on if you're going to get it or not. Because I feel like if this game plays like how you've seen in this intro, then I think it has a high chance to be Game of the Year, if not a very close runner-up. Now, I know I'm kind of just rambling here, but I do enjoy Veilguard. I do enjoy Dragon Age. I love the world that it's set in. I love how it's not, everything's not like rainbows and unicorns. There is some grit to it. There is a lot of dark stuff happening behind the scenes. And there's a lot of lore that gets thrown at you if you look in the right spots. But I would highly recommend checking out some YouTube videos if you want to know more about the lore on Dragon Age Inquisition. And be sure to check out some of our videos from Jarrett, as he will be doing some Easter egg and achievement guides for this game, hopefully coming out soon. Anyways, see you guys in the next one.